Okay, let's go. Peace and wellness, family. I hope that y'all are well and happy and whole and all that good stuff. Y'all, we got some catching up to do. We got a little catching up to do, okay? First off, let me go ahead and set my intention. The intention for this video is for us to discuss this blue moon, super full moon that we are currently in the shadow period of. And that's why I said we got some catching up to do because we are already in the shadow period. Now, the blue moon, the blue super full moon. It's a lot to say because it's a lot going on, okay? The blue super full moon peaks in Pisces tomorrow, August 30th at 9:35 p.m. Eastern time. So make sure you calculate your time zone and everything. But the shadow period started on August 27th, right? And it will last up until about September 1st. So my intention for this video is to discuss, what does all of that mean? What does it mean to have a blue moon, to have a super full moon, to have both of them come together and this be a blue super full moon peaking in Pisces? How will it impact our energy? And what are some things that we can do to utilize this energy for our wellness? Okay, so that's the intention of this video. As usual, I'll give you the full breakdown of the impact of the energy. What does all of this mean? I'll also give you 5 things to do to keep in mind of, 5 journal prompts, 5 crystals, and 5 herbs that you can utilize to have this energy work in your favor and for your wellness and to help you heal and grow. Okay, so we'll get into all of that. But first, I got to catch y'all up. Huh? I got to catch y'all up. Yes, ma'am. Let me tell y'all something. I went to Afropunk this weekend. So that's why I didn't get a chance to do this video before the shadow period began, because I was at Afropunk. So my niece, shout out to Bam, Big Bam, not the little one. My niece just turned 21 on August 22nd. So this whole weekend was dedicated to celebrating her 21st birthday, you know. So shout out to her uncle and her godmother and everybody. They got her a section in the club in Staten Island. And that was the Friday event for that was in alignment with her birthday. And then, for me, my niece is very much that's my eldest niece, so she's very much my little baby. Okay, and I had to take her to her very first Afropunk. She wanted to go to Afropunk. Y'all know Afropunk is my thing. I usually go every year. And before the penny, I was going every year, and she wanted to go to her very first Afropunk. So, of course, I had to take her. My sister came. Sugar Bones came. This was Sugar Bones' first Afropunk since she's been living in New York. So it was a whole thing. So that's what we did this weekend, and it was a good time. I wanted to say much love to everybody who I met there. There was so many people who was like, I watch you on YouTube. I watch you on IG. I watch you here. You on my FYP. Da, 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 da. I follow you. Shout out to the sister who said I helped her through her divorce. There was people who was like, telling me their stories and telling me how, the information and the knowledge and the wisdom that I share on my various platforms have helped them through different parts of their life. Shout out to Tracy. I remember you, Tracy. You actually inspired one of the journal prompts. Okay. But yes, there were so many people who I met, so many sisters, so many brothers, so many beautiful beings who was like, hey, I know who you are, and you have been a blessing in my life. And I appreciate that energy always, because it's always a reminder that I'm moving in divine alignment and I'm moving in my purpose, So I really appreciate when people come up to me and they let me know how this YouTube thing is really like helping them and helping them elevate and helping them heal and helping them grow and live in alignment with their purpose, So I appreciate y'all love. Thank you again to everybody who stopped me and showed me love. And even the people who DM'd me after, there was people who was DMing me and was like, I saw you at Afropunk, but I was shy. I saw you, I was scared to speak. Shout out to y'all too, okay? I get it. Trust me, I get it. But much love to everybody, okay? And Afropunk was amazing. Jasmine Sullivan was supposed to close the show, but as we know, and much healing energy to Jasmine Sullivan and her family. Her mom transitioned last month. And she's in grief. And for people who don't people who haven't lost a parent or somebody who was a parental figure in their life, or just anybody that they're close to, a lot of folks don't understand that grieving process, so she's in deep grief, and she had to, turn over the headlining position. She made a post like last week saying she won't be able to headline because she's still, of course, in deep grief. It's still very recent. And Tiana Taylor ended up closing. If you don't know, Tiana Taylor has been in retirement. So she came out of retirement to close Afropunk, and she did an amazing, amazing job. Tiana gonna put on a show, honey. And Iman came out, and he was rapping, and Junie was dancing, and Junie really stole the show. And they had like a little family dance routine they did. It was amazing. It was amazing. Shout out to Joey. Joey did good. Flying Lotus closed on Saturday. Tiana closed on Sunday. Again, everybody was really good. I didn't see Flying Lotus. We left a little early Saturday, so I didn't catch Flying Lotus, but they're amazing. We was like walking out as they was performing, but they, from what I heard, they was good. Okay, they was really good. Everybody was great, and Afropunk was such a vibe. The biggest thing is the people. The people really set it off. The vibe, the energy. It's just such a space where everybody can go and just be free and dress how they want to dress and express themselves, and you don't have to worry about anything. It's just a space of creative freedom. And the networking is good. Everything is good. So if you have an Afropunk in your area, usually Atlanta's is in October. South Africa's is in December. They have one in Brazil. They have one in London. They do it in Portugal. So there's Afropunk everywhere. I noticed that there's not one on the West Coast. So I'm assuming they're going to roll that out, because if people came up from like DC, Baltimore, shout out to Tracy. Tracy was from Cincinnati. People traveled to come to the one in Brooklyn. People traveled to go to the one in Atlanta. And I was like, maybe they're going to do a DC one. And then I thought to myself, and I was telling my sister, I said, before DC, they'll probably do one on the West Coast, right? Like do a LA or something like that. So I feel like they probably will do that soon, because they've been popping up in different parts of the world. I'm guessing they're going to have an LA one soon. But regardless, get to your nearest Afropunk, and take your children. Children are welcomed. They have to just be accompanied by an adult. Give them the opportunity to see that creative freedom and expression, and to see people living their whole, true, authentic self, and just being open and wild. And I promise you, it's safe. It's not a festival where you have to worry about anything crazy happening. Thank God I've been going every year, and nothing, it's always been amazing. It's always been well, everything is always beautiful. It's good vibes, good energy. So go to the website, afropunk.com, I believe it is. And you can see the list of they have a Minneapolis one, I believe. You can see the list of all the places that they go to. It's a good list. Okay. So that's my Afropunk update. If you want to see pics of my fit, okay, go check me out on IG if you want to see pics of both my fits. I told y'all I was going to do pasties. I did pasties the first day, premiered the new breast reduced girls, okay? The reduction girlies, okay, premiered them. And then the second day I did like a head wrap and turned it into a top and all of that stuff and all kind of things. Okay, so go check out my IG if you want to see pics of my Afropunk experience. Now let's get into this blue super full moon in Pisces and what does it mean and all of that stuff. Okay, now if you are in the wellness community, you don't need to take notes, because the notes are already drafted in the Patreon, and I'll be posting them after we finish this live. So there's no need to take notes if you are in the wellness community. If you are not in the wellness community, definitely take notes by hand if you desire. As usual, I always advise that you just maybe shorthand the beginning notes. And the only thing that I advise that you take verbatim, word for word, is the journal prompts. Okay? Journal prompts, word for word. Everything else you can kind of just shorthand. Okay, let me take a little sip of my Gatorade. And then we're going to get into it. The earrings are from, you saw me at the Afropunk. Oh, thank you, Kira. Hey. The earrings are from Ivory Chanel. The same sister that did the loop ones, the ones that look like Fruit Loops. That is from her website, okay? Ivory Chanel. All right. Let's get into it. So as I already stated, on August 30th at 9:35 p.m. Eastern Time, we have a blue super full moon peaking in the sign of Pisces. Now, a blue moon is a very rare event, and essentially It doesn't have anything to do with the color necessarily. It just essentially means that it's the second full moon falling in 1 month. So if you guys don't remember, on August 1st, we had our first full moon of August. And then now August 30th, we're having our second full moon. So usually the second moon is called the blue moon. Now, this is a blue super full moon, which is also a very rare event. So a blue moon doesn't happen very often, and definitely a blue super full moon happens even less often than that. The last time we had one was, I believe, in 2009. Okay. So this is a very rare full moon energy that we are in. Now, a lot of folks, are saying, oh, this is such a beautiful time to manifest, a beautiful time to manifest. I still don't advise necessarily doing manifestation work for this full moon. Okay. I do not advise that. I advise that you continue on with utilizing our full moon energy, which we use full moons to reveal and release, and focus on that. But what we are revealing and releasing is in alignment with helping us to manifest. Okay. Now, again, the blue moon is a very rare event. The last time we had a blue super full moon was, I believe, 2009. That's where you get the term once in a blue moon, once in a blue moon. It just indicates that something rare is happening. Now, a super full moon occurs when the moon is at its closest point to the earth, when it is orbiting around the earth. Okay. So when the moon is at its elliptical orbit, it's at its closest point. And that's how we have a super full moon. Now, what happens with the super full moon is it's at its closest point to the earth. So it just appears larger. A lot of people believe that this intensifies the energy. So this is a rare moon. It's an intensified moon. So it's just going to intensify all of the energetic effects of this moon. So I started out by saying you guys may already be feeling some of the emotional effects, especially of this full moon energy. Now, keep in mind that full moons pull at our emotions because it pulls at the high tide. Our bodies are 70% water, so it pulls at the internal tide of our being. So it intensifies our emotions, it intensifies our energy. Our energy is intensified, which can also intensify our behavior. Keep that in mind. When you have a super full moon, it pulls the tide even higher. Okay? Even higher. So the energy is super intense. Super intense. Now, for those of you who may not necessarily be feeling the emotional shifts, and you may not feel like your emotions are heavily increased, let me explain where your emotions are increased, okay? And we'll get into that when we discuss the energy impact. Now, let's talk about this Pisces energy, because Pisces is a mutable water sign. So Pisces is all about going with the flow. Mutable signs are already good with transition, change, transformation. It's a water sign, so it's very much about being in the flow, moving in the flow, a lot of that divine femininity energy. If you guys don't know, Yemoja is over the full moon, so more divine feminine energy. Again, heavy emotions, a lot of chaotic feelings, okay? So all of that is intensified because this blue super full moon is in Pisces. Now, what I love about Pisces so much is Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Now, Neptune is our planet of dreams and intuition. Pisces are very intuitive beings, very imaginative beings. They're all about dreaming and heavy intuition. And Pisces are very feelings people. I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling like that. I'm feeling like this. I'm feeling like that. I'm thinking this. I'm imagining this. I'm dreaming about this. I had a vision of this. Pisces oftentimes have big, lofty goals and big, lofty visions, which is good. This is the thing. You are talking to a Pisces. They're going to give you a business plan. A Pisces is going to tell you about a work goal, a career goal, a relationship goal. They already got their wedding planned out. They know what they naming their kids. They got all of these in third grade. Pisces be in third grade. Like, I'm going to wear this to my wedding. I'm having this many kids. I got my name to my kids. I'm the third grade. They knew. They knew. That's a Pisces for you. Okay. Very dreamy, very imaginative, very creative beings. Now, the downside of this, though, is that a lot of this is internal. They're very internal beings. I was talking to my friend Antoine. My friend Antoine is heavy into astrology. Shout out to Twan if you see this. Me and him was having dinner the other day. He's also in town. Okay, so we was having dinner last week sometime, and we was talking about Pisces, and he was like, one thing Pisces have in common is that they are bad with communication. And I really feel like this is because a lot of that dreamy, intuitive work is all internal. They hold a lot in. So keep that in mind when we talk about this energy, okay? Very internal, very self-aware beings. That's Pisces energy, a lot of self-awareness. So a lot of intuition, or being very intuitive, a lot of dreams, big visions, self-awareness, not really wanting to communicate. Okay, not really wanting to talk it out. A lot of this work happens inside. That's Pisces energy. And again, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. Family, Neptune is currently retrograde in Pisces. As usual, I tell y'all that keep in mind, retrograde is an optical illusion. Retrograde can make us feel as though energy, things, people, the universe is working against us, right? The retrograde is the optical illusion that the planet is moving backwards, which means that sometimes it can affect our energy by making us feel like things are moving backwards in whatever area that planet is aligned with. Neptune is aligned with dreams and spirituality. Let's get into the energy impact of this blue super full moon in Pisces, okay? The first thing I want to talk about is, and this is all the good stuff, the increased intuition. Right now, you may have a lot of increased intuition. And again, this shadow period lasts up until about September 1st. So heavy intuition, a lot of intensified dreams, okay? Increased self-awareness, really looking at yourself, assessing your life, reflecting on past experiences, where you are, your growth, all of that stuff. Super enhanced emotions, having a lot of heavy emotions that are triggered by this self-reflection. You may have been reflecting on your past, reflecting on things you've been through, reflecting on your journey thus far, especially your spiritual journey, especially your wellness journey. And then that Pisces dreamy intuition is making us look at the bigger picture and really pushing us to assess, why am I not there yet? What can I do to get there? What's holding me back from getting there? And that's how we're going to utilize this energy in our favor, okay? That's how we'll utilize this energy for our wellness. So all of this self-awareness, all of this self-reflection is good for us during this time, but it's just about what you do with it, okay? Let's keep that in mind. Revelations of emotional ties from the past, including grief triggers. Y'all, I was gonna say, I don't know what's been going on lately, but we know what's going on lately. It's this super full moon, this blue super full moon in Pisces, and Pisces being ruled by Neptune, and Neptune being in retrograde, and folks want to reflect on the past. A lot of heavy emotional ties are revealed. That's our revelation energy with this super full moon. A lot of revelation of emotional ties. And I have to say this because, family, a lot of folks think they have soul ties. People want to do cord cutting ceremonies. Y'all, wellness community, y'all know this comes up all the time on the Zooms. People want to do cord cutting ceremonies and all of that. Some of y'all don't have soul ties. You still have emotional ties. And your emotional ties is not because of the soul tie. It's because of the mental connection that you still have with the person. That's very different from a soul tie. You have a mental connection with that person that is causing an emotional effect. It's an emotional tie you still have to that person. You still care about them. You still value them. You still want to see how they're doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only time it becomes a problem is when it's really affecting your progress and it's blocking your progress. But emotional ties don't just happen with people. It happens with events as well. When you think about something you've been through in the past and it's still affecting you, that's very much an emotional tie. Now, I want you, and when I say affecting you, I mean affecting you in a desired way or undesired way, a positive way or a negative way. You still have emotional ties to past events, to past people. Now, the reason I said assess emotional ties, especially dealing with grief triggers, is because grief has been a common conversation that's been coming up around me a lot lately. Even at Afropunk, and shout out to Tracy. That's why I said, Tracy, I hope you're watching this, Sister Queen, because you actually inspired one of my journal prompts and also one of these energy impacts. At Afropunk, a sister, Tracy, had me, my sister, my niece, and Shug was sitting on the steps, and we was waiting for the Uber, and Tracy came up and was talking to us, and she started talking about grief. And Jasmine Sullivan backed out of Afropunk because she's grieving. And Tracy started talking about grief, and she's getting emotional. My sister starts crying, and it just became a whole, a beautiful session of just talking about grieving and grief triggers. And something I think that's important, family, is for us to understand the process of grief. And that's actually going to be one of the things that we do during this time. I really urge you guys to be open to conversations about grief. Okay? Start studying grief. Look into it. Bring it to your awareness. A lot of the emotional ties that we have that are blocking us from progressing is because some of us are grieving certain people who have transitioned out of our life. And be mindful, when I say transition out of our life, I don't mean just through death. I don't mean transition as they passed away only. Yes, we grieve people who passed away, but we also grieve old friendships, old family relationships. We grieve old jobs and careers and places of comfort that we used to be in. We grieve old forms of ourself that we were in love with, that used to serve us at that point in time, and we wonder why we're not there anymore. We grieve so many different things in our life. Anytime something transitions out of your life or transitions and becomes a new thing in your life, there's a grief process that has to occur. So when I say study grief, I'm not just talking about death. I'm talking about grief with regard to transition, because what I'm finding is a lot of people are deep in grief, and you have blockages because you're stopping yourself from moving through your grief process. So for this blue super full moon in Pisces, I urge you to be open to revelations of emotional blockages. What emotional ties, emotional triggers, emotional blockages are stopping you from manifesting as your full healed self, from taking that next step in your wellness journey, from manifesting those things that you desire, from elevating to that vibration, that frequency that you desire? What is blocking you emotionally? Okay, this is a very emotional full moon. So this is a good time to do a lot of emotion healing work. Okay, the last energy impact. Strong desires to expand your vision and manifest in your Pisces areas of your natal chart. So I want you to look at your houses as well as your planets and see where is Pisces in your natal chart, because a lot of this desire to expand your vision, to dream big, to imagine big, will likely be in one of those areas. So it could be in your 9th house, okay? It could be in your 3rd house. Check to see where Pisces falls in your natal charts, and that's likely where you'll feel a lot of this dreamy, intuitive energy. And I usually only give y'all 5 energy impacts, but I also want to give y'all another one, okay? Because this is what's happening heavy. I lit a candle before I started this, and it's only been, it's been 20 minutes. I'm like, this candle is strong. A little Target candle. It's bourbon pumpkin. Get y'all one. Bourbon pumpkin candle from Target. This ain't an ad or nothing, but I'm telling you, this candle is strong. It smells really good. Okay. But yes, I want to add this extra energy impact, because a lot of this you'll be feeling. Yes, you're going to have increased intuitions. Yes, you'll have heavy, intensified dreams during this time. Yes, there will be a lot of omens that are shared in your life or that are shown to you and revealed to you in your life. A big thing that's going to impact our energy this time: lack of trust. The lack of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the universe, that the universe is giving you the omen, trust that your dream is actually for you and not for somebody else. The lack of trust will be heavy during this time. A lot of folks wondering, am I just making this up? Did I really just see that, or is this all in my mind? I have this feeling, I have this intuition, I have this vibe. Am I bugging out? Is this my past? Is this my ego? Or is this really intuition? The lack of trust may really block you from elevating and moving forward in this divine intuition, this dream work that's happening, these omens that are being revealed about how you can expand your vision and what your next step should be. Lack of trust may really impact your energy at this time. Go watch my video on intuition and the ego so you can learn how to differentiate the two, so it can be a quick process for you, so that you know that that's an omen and it's not you just making it up in your mind. You know that these angel numbers or this divine numerology is really spirit communicating, and not just you looking at the clock too hard or not paying attention. Really, really, really be aware of how trust, self-doubt, and insecurities may be blocking you at this time. That Neptune energy is real. And when I say Neptune energy, I'm talking about Neptune being retrograde in Pisces, Pisces being ruled by Neptune, this blue super full moon being in Pisces. The only thing that could reverse this energy on you is your own lack of trust in yourself. The only thing that could reverse this energy on you, because a lot of self-awareness is open right now, is having insecurities and self-doubt. That's the only thing that can reverse this energy on you. And we touched on this in the Wellness Community group chat. Okay. A couple people were saying that they've been feeling a lot of self-doubt and insecurity. That's this energy right now. Okay. That's that Neptune retrograde in Pisces, blue super full moon in Pisces. That alignment, the only thing that could block you is the lack of trust, insecurities, self-doubt. Okay, so that's work that you'll have to do in order to really tap into this energy for your wellness. Now, I will just simply say this, family, once you realize that, okay, right now I'm doubting myself, right now I'm not trusting myself, you are aware. And I always tell y'all the most powerful thing you can be is aware, because when you are aware, you can do something about it. Once you realize, this is self-doubt, this is an insecurity, I'm not trusting myself, do something about it. Make a decision to believe in you. Make a decision to trust your intuition. Make a decision to believe that dream, to follow that omen. Okay? Make the choice, make the decision. Okay, now let's move into what to do, because that kind of was a little segue. I didn't even realize, but it's a little segue in what to do. The first thing to do, let me sip a little something. Y'all, I got a drink. I'm gonna have to drink a lot during this one because, honey, we had a good time this weekend. Okay, and my sister and I, one thing about my family, and I value this very much, we are very like community oriented. We share everything. So my sister and I, we had some drinks and we just poured it in one bottle and we mixed it and we were sharing it. And I was drinking tequila. She was drinking Douce, baby. We mixed both of them in one bottle and was drinking it. Let's just say, honey, I need the electrolytes, okay? Don't, family, don't be like me. Don't ever do that to yourself. Okay? Don't you ever do that to yourself. Okay? So I'm going to be taking a lot of sips during this one. Okay? The first thing to do. Yes, we had a time. We had a time last night. My sister and my niece left this yesterday. They left yesterday. But child, we recovering. I was just talking to my sister. She said she going back to sleep. Okay? Anyway, what to do? Let's get into it. The first thing to do. This is a powerful full moon that urges us to release emotional ties that may be blocking us from moving in flow. That Pisces energy is all about the flow. Go outside to connect with this moon energy. Make some moon water. This moon water can be used anytime you want to release an emotional tie or blockage. And I put that as the first thing to do, family, because let me tell you something. One thing about a full moon in Pisces, and this is a super full moon, which intensifies the energy. This is a blue moon, which is a rare occasion. This blue super full moon in Pisces is very rare. It's a beautiful thing. When I say full moon in Pisces energy, regardless, without the super and the blue, regardless, is great for releasing emotional blockages. When I say if you don't collect some moon water at this time, baby, use a nut. Okay, use a fool. Use a ditsy daisy. Okay, get y'all some of this moon water. You could use this moon water for a spiritual bath. You could use it for a floor wash. And let me tell you, like I said, when I was reading the thing, it's good for releasing emotional blockages. If you ever going through something in your life and it's causing a lot of heavy emotions that's blocking you from elevating. When I say going through something, I'm talking about career issues, relationship issues, anything, any type of emotional disruption. Baby, you pick up this full moon water. And a lot of people, because especially depending on it, that's why I always tell y'all to use purified water. So to collect the moon water, all you need to do is get some purified water, or you can use some rainwater, but I advise that you boil it and you set it outside. Now, to preserve it, you can add a shot, especially for this one, because this is going to be used for revealing and releasing emotional blockages. So to preserve it, you can put a shot of distilled white vinegar or some white rum or gin, and that'll help preserve the water if you want to keep it for a long period of time. But you just want to put it in a glass jar or whatever you like to put your moon water in. It's up to you. And put it outside under the full moon. Again, the peak of the full moon is tomorrow at 9:35 p.m. I advise that as soon as the sun set, you go ahead and put your water out and just bring it in before sunrise. And that's all you do. You can also set your crystals out, especially like your emotion-based crystals, your labradorite, your lapidolite, your tiger's eye, your amethyst, your clear quartz, emotion-based crystals. You can put them out to get a good cleansing under this full moon. But definitely just go outside and connect with the moon. One thing I love to do is, I'm blessed that I could sit at my window and the full moon just is right there, and I track the time and everything so I can make sure I get a good glimpse of it, and I can spend some time just bathing in the full moon energy and connecting with that full moon. Sometimes I'll go on my balcony and things like that and just really connect with it. But go outside and connect with the energy, and just keep in mind that even if you can't see the full moon, you can still utilize the energy of the full moon. Yes, it can be in the window. Somebody asked, can it be in the window? Yes, it could be in the window. Yes, Star, it can be hurricane water, but hurricane water, I put that in the Patreon when I did the water breakdown. So in the Patreon, I released a notes, a write-up about the different types of water and which we use the different types of water for. Yes, you can use hurricane water. Hurricane water, we use that for intense blockages and intense, work that we're doing. Okay, so if you got some intense work you want to do, yes, you can use some hurricane water. You can use some rainwater, or anything like that you want to use. Yes, you can use spring water as well. But just whatever water you use, I advise that you purify it first. Okay, so collect y'all some moon water. Really connect with this energy. Release these emotional blockages. The second thing to do: release control and stop trying to figure out the why and the how of manifesting. Be open to omens and revelations about how to expand your vision. Okay, a lot of the revelations that we'll get. So 2 types of revelations: emotional blockages, what's blocking us from manifesting, as well as how we can expand our vision, will also be revealed. Now, sometimes you may need to release those emotional blockages to see or realize those omens that are showing you how to expand your vision, especially where Pisces falls in your natal chart. Okay, so just be open to that. And don't worry, that's the law of detachment. Don't worry about the how and the why, when it comes to manifesting. Why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do that? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? Be clear about your vision. Decide what it is. Vision it. It's done. The how will be revealed to you. It'll just fall in line. It will attract to you. You'll just get the urge. You'll get an omen to do this, a push to do that. Maybe have a dream of yourself doing something that will put you in alignment with your vision. Okay? Now, the next thing, and I already talked about this: study the grief process and identify where you may be in the process. And again, earlier I explained the different types of grief, how you can be grieving, but really study the grief process and assess where you may be in the grief process for whatever you could possibly be grieving in your life, okay? And just accept that and be aware of that. And remember, grief is not linear. Grief has no timetable. So I don't care if someone transitioned 20 years ago, or if you moved out of something or somewhere or away from something. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, you may still be triggered in the grief process somewhere, okay? So just be honest with yourself about what you may be grieving, study the grief process, and identify where you may be in your process, okay? Let's see. The fourth one, don't try to explain away emotions, especially those tied to the past. These emotions may be blocking you from moving in your flow and manifesting. So don't try to explain away emotions coming up. Don't try to, I'm good, I'm okay, I'm all right, I'm well, your way out of actually feeling your true, authentic emotions, especially those triggered by the past. You may heavily be triggered by past emotions during this time. Okay, so thinking about past experiences, having someone from the past revisit you in your life, you may heavily be triggered during this time. Don't block away the feelings, be open to it, and just keep in mind that what may be revealed to you during this time is what's blocking you from elevating based in your emotions. So those emotional blockages, okay? So if you start feeling some emotions that's triggered by a past experience or someone from your past, say, oh, okay, maybe this is what I need to release. Maybe this is what's blocking me from being able to elevate and manifest, okay? And the last thing to do, don't overthink obstacles that come up. There are 7 planets in retrograde. Okay, Uranus officially went retrograde on the 28th. There are 7 planets in retrograde plus Chiron. Don't take any obstacles personal. Okay, family, wellness community. I already put the write up in the Patreon about the breaking down the 7 planets and what's in retrograde and how it may be affecting you during this time. Right now, when obstacles come up, things come up, don't take nothing personal. Breathe through it and just move on. Technology, you know, Mercury's in retrograde, Uranus is in retrograde, Neptune is in retrograde, everything, Pluto's in retrograde, everything. Everything and everybody, okay, is retrograde. Okay, don't take any obstacles personal. Y'all, we was at when we was at Afropunk, you know, if you have the 2-day tickets, both tickets for both days, they give you a band. And normally you're supposed to just be able to show your band. So you go Sunday, you're supposed to just be able to show your band and walk right in. They telling us, oh, we got to scan your tickets. The band don't mean nothing. So we like, okay, the band don't mean nothing. You got to scan your tickets. Okay, I'm telling myself, I'm just like, y'all, be easy. Let's just do it. Just be easy. I'm telling my sister, my niece, be easy. They didn't even give Sugar Band. So she had to scan her tickets regardless because they didn't do their job. Okay, but anyway, we go up there with the tickets. The lady is just holding my phone, trying to scan the tickets. Her technology is not working. Her phone is not working, and we standing there for a long time. And I'm like, be easy. Let's just breathe. And I'm sitting there breathing through it. Meanwhile, folks is performing. We missing it. We just standing there for a while. The technology is technology. Okay, Mercury is retrograding. Okay, Mercury also communication, transportation, technology, all of that. Mercury retrograde. So I'm like, okay, we know what this is. And that's why I said the awareness of the planetary alignment is important because if you are aware, you can do something about it. So you don't get frustrated. You could choose. You make the choice. Okay, I'm aware this is that Mercury retrograde thing. I'm going to choose not to allow this moment to frustrate me. I'm going to choose not to engage with this energy. I'm going to choose to just breathe my way through this, stay calm. When we are meant to be in there, we will be in there. And we just waited and we waited. And finally, she went to somebody else who their thing was working and they got it and we was in there. We just breathed and Suge was standing. Suge was already in. She's standing there. She just was waiting. Everybody we just be easy. Fast forward, we go to, there was an issue, something with the food truck, and the lady got the order wrong or whatever, my sister ordered wrong with the food truck. I said, let's just be easy. We go, be easy, be easy. That's my mantra during this 7 planet retrograde. Be easy, be easy, be easy, be easy. Just be easy. It's easy. It's well. When it's meant to be, it'll be. Just be easy. Don't personalize any obstacles that come up during this time. Be easy. Be easy. Okay? Journal prompts, 5 journal prompts. Okay? And this is, if you are taking notes by hand, this is the part that I advise you take the notes verbatim. Okay? 5 journal prompts. First journal prompt. What is a past situation that triggers some negative / undesired emotions? And I put negative / undesired because sometimes some people don't like to label their emotions positive or negative. We give those labels, So it's just really about what emotions do you not desire to feel. So what is a past situation that triggers some negative / undesired emotions? How can you reframe your perspective of this situation? And what do you need to heal from it? Family, and that's just like a starter question to help process your emotional healing and to release these emotional blockages. Because when I say something I notice is that a lot of folks, I do one-to-one consultations. I haven't released my calendar for September yet before y'all ask. I haven't opened it yet, okay? But I do one-to-one consultations. And when I'm doing consultations, I find quite often that when folks are talking about issues that they have, with people or with the situation, I ask, what do you need to heal from that? They don't know. They're not sure. Sometimes we are so stuck in being broken that we haven't even thought about what we need to heal. Sometimes we're so stuck in the fact that we were done wrong, that somebody ain't right, that something didn't go how we want it to go. Sometimes we're so stuck in victimhood that we haven't even considered or thought about what we need to heal. We haven't even thought about what may be the remedy. Okay? So what do you need to heal from that? Would you need an apology? Would you need some accountability taken? Would you need another opportunity? What would you actually need to heal from that? Sometimes we can't manifest our healing because we haven't visioned our healing. We haven't visioned it. What is your vision for healing? What would healing from that actually look like? What would it feel like? What are some possibilities of remedies? If you get sick, hopefully there are multiple opportunities or multiple options of remedies, of solutions for whatever you have going on. And you get to choose. What are your options for healing for you? What would you need to heal from that situation? Okay, that's the first journal prompt. Second journal prompt. What are 3 things you do to balance your emotions? What are 3 things you do to balance your emotions? When you're feeling emotionally out of sort, what are your 3 go-to practices to help you with that? Okay. And I'll share, for me, I'm quick for a spiritual bath or a spiritual shower, quick for that. Okay, I'm quick to smudge myself down and do some breath work, do some meditation work. I'm quick to have a empty chair session where if I need to feel like I need to say something, I need to release it, I release it, or I'll pick up the phone and call somebody I love, call somebody in my tribe and I'll vent. Like, girl, tell me my favorite. My tribe be laughing because my favorite thing, they're out. If they'll know I'm ready because I start the conversation. They say, hey, I say, tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm tripping. Now tell me if you think it's me. Okay. And I'm quick to vent. Okay. So those are some of the ways that I get my emotional balance, that I'm able to like release my emotions, restore myself, doing the breath work, doing my meditation, smudging. The shower always gets me. The water is cleansing. It always gets me. Okay. So those are some of my go-tos. But what are 3 practices that help bring you emotional balance? The third journal prompt. How do you identify blockages in your life? What is a blockage in your life that you want to release? Why do you feel this is a blockage? How do you identify blockages in your life? What is a blockage in your life that you'd want to release? Why do you feel this is a blockage? Okay? That's self-explanatory. Fourth journal prompt. What is something that you go to that aligns with your passion? Oh no, it's a typo. What is something that you do that aligns with your passion and purpose? If nothing, what is your vision of moving in your passion and purpose? Okay. What is something that you do that aligns with your passion and purpose? What, if nothing, what is your vision for moving in your passion and purpose? And this is when it comes to expanding your vision. You may need to expand your vision. Okay. The 5th journal prompt: how do you practice moving in flow? That Pisces mutable water energy is all about flow. How do you practice moving in flow? What does being in flow look and feel like for you? What does being in flow look and feel like for you? Okay, let's get into the crystals. 5 crystals. And as usual, I'm going to tell y'all the crystal and tell you what to use it for. This will be quick. First crystal, fluorite for balance. Second crystal, good. This is good for Pisces energy. Aquamarine for flow, courage, and harmony. Aquamarine. Third crystal, amethyst for peace and emotional wellness and balance. Fourth crystal, clear quartz for clarity. Fifth crystal, lapidolite for emotional wellness. Okay? One more time, running through them. Fluorite, aquamarine, amethyst, clear quartz, lapidolite. Okay? Those are 5 crystals. Now, the 5 herbs. So I'm going to tell you the 5 herbs. I'm going to tell you what to use them for, but I'm also going to tell you how to use each one. Okay? Because certain ones you don't need to use how you use the other ones. So all of them you're not going to drink. All of them you're not going to burn. All of them you're not going to, you get what I'm saying. So I'm going to tell you how to do it. Okay. The first herb, skull cap. Skull cap is one of my faves. It's one of my go-tos. So I have I keep my herbs. I don't do a lot of folks draw their herbs, which I think is beautiful. I don't do that. I have my herbs in little satchels. That's in a big satchel. Okay, that I keep in a sacred place. So I have my big satchel of herbs. Okay. And when I say y'all, skull cap is always at the top of the satchel. I have like my go-to everyday herbs, I keep at the top of my satchel. Skull cap is it for me. Now with skull cap is all about harmony, but skull cap is also an overall healing herb. Okay. So with the skull cap, you can burn it, but I advise that you drink this one. Okay. I advise that you drink the skull cap. The second herb, there's multiple ways you can use this. The second herb is called heart ease. Heart ease. Now, heart ease is good for healing past emotional trauma, including trust issues. And for that, you can burn it or you could diffuse it. You can get heart ease oil. And I want to say this because you can also get skull cap oil if you plan on burning it or diffusing it. Most of the herbs, you can get the oil version. Now, if you're going to use the oil to drink or put in your food, it needs to be 100% food grade oil. Okay, that's the one you can ingest. So I'll often get that question anytime I say, oh, you can drink this or you can eat this. Of course, if I'm saying drink it, I'm telling you to get the herb. But with the oil, you can like John the Conqueror oil. Most of the herbs I say, you can get the oil version. But if you're going to put in your food or you're going to add it to your tea, it needs to be the 100% food grade option. So just check the description and make sure it says 100% food grade. Okay. Now, heart ease, again, healing past emotional trauma, including trust issues. You could burn it or you could diffuse it. But heart ease also aids in healing of the dry skin and eczema. So this is when you would get the oil and you can rub it on your skin. It heals in dry skin, eczema. If you have dandruff, if you have psoriasis, any type of skin issue, skin condition, heart ease oil is very, very good for that. Okay, so you wear it. You can put it on your skin directly. It also boosts up the metabolism and it's a decongestion, especially for the lungs. Okay, it's good for the lungs, the respiratory system. Also, if you listen, I'm very mindful of not saying, this is the solution. This is the number one fixer. Okay. But I will say this, it's called heart ease for a reason. Okay. So if you know someone who is living with congestive heart failure, get them some heart ease. Okay, get them some heart ease. Get the natural herb, brew it up for them. Do what you have to do. If you know someone who's struggling with weight loss, having weight loss issues, and they want to speed up their metabolism, you need to drink that heart ease herb. Okay, so you would drink this one, or you can eat it. Okay, someone who has a lot of congestion in the lungs, the respiratory system, get some heart ease. And do your Googles. Google, you could type in heart ease herb. Okay, heart ease herb, benefits of heart ease herb or something, and read up on it. I'm telling y'all, this it works. Okay, it works. So do your research, do your Googles and the different types, because there's the flower, there's the stem, some people extract all of it and get the oil and make the oil. Utilize it. Heart's ease. And it's not expensive either. You know, expensive is relative, but you know, you could get it for a fair price. Okay. Rose hip. The next herb, third herb, is rose hip. Rose hip is good for healing, womb wellness, and love. And I advise that you drink rose hip. Okay, I advise that you drink it. You can also take a spiritual bath with all of these, really, but especially the rose hip. You can add rose hips to your spiritual bath. So I advise that you drink this one. Rose hips. Okay. Heart ease is good for kids in small doses. I see Big Empress asks for kids. But also, family, every herb that I say and any herb that anybody says, I talked about this in the Wellness Community group chat, always Google kids, pregnant women, heart's ease, safe for kids, or heart's ease kids, heart's ease pregnant. And see, pregnant, breastfeeding kids, always research that for each and every herb. And especially when you get like those tea blends out the store. Like I love Yogi Tea brand. They have a good tea. I love Celestial Tea. They have good blends. I love Twinnings. I have some Twinnings peppermint. Some of those blends, you know, when you get like the sleep tea and this, there are a lot of different herbs blended. You need to go through the list and Google each herb that's in the blend to make sure it's okay for pregnant, breastfeeding children. Always check those 3 categories for each herb, okay? The fourth herb, and really you're going to use the flower for this, is lilac. Lilac, and you can get the oil, okay? Because this is going to be strictly a wear, burn, or diffuse. So just get some lilac oil. You can get the Now brand, I believe. Try their lilac oil. They have with Now brand, they sell it on Amazon. But I advise that with Now brand, you go to the website because Now brand has oils. They have 100% all natural, and then they have 100% all natural organic. You decide which category you want to get, okay? But go to their website, you know, and look on their website, okay? But also, you don't have to get Now brand. Get whatever brand you like, okay? But try lilac. Lilac is good for wisdom, increased intuition, and prosperity. You can wear it, burn it, diffuse it. Get some lilac oil or some fresh lilacs if you have it. Take a spiritual bath in it. Okay, especially if you have some fresh lilacs, that's nice. And then a fifth herb, this is also one of my favorites, also at the top of my satchel, burdock. I love some burdock. And you could get burdock root, get any part of burdock, but I prefer burdock root, okay? Burdock is good for releasing negative energy and for protection. You want to burn it. Burn the burdock. Now, if you're drinking it, burdock root is a blood purifier, a blood cleanser. Okay, so this is good for anybody who has high blood pressure, issues with the blood, get burdock root. Also, if you have high blood pressure, let me tell you your blend. If you have high blood pressure, get burdock root, cayenne pepper, some hibiscus, and you drink that. So you can make a good sorrel. If anybody knows about sorrel, the sorrel tea, you can make a good sorrel drink, you know, cold. If you're going to do it cold, I'm giving y'all my little recipes, okay? But a good drink for the blood. And a lot of elders love this. You know, I make it a lot for older people because I don't know what it is for older people, but they love the taste of sorrel, okay? Children, not so much. With children, you really have to like add other things to it. But elder people love that taste of sorrel. You can on my nerves, Deja. Yes, the cayenne pepper, okay? But yeah, so for high blood pressure, I'm going to tell y'all 2 ways to make it. If you're going to do a hot tea, you get that hibiscus or the sorrel, and you put it in there with some ginger. You put a pinch of cayenne pepper in there and some burdock root. You make it as a hot tea, okay? If you want to make it as a cold tea, you add the hibiscus, or I say a cold tea, but you know, cold tea / drink. You do the hibiscus or the sorrel. You do the cayenne pepper, the ginger, and you add, you boil out all of the burdock root. You bring all of that up to a good steam. You let it, you know, seep and everything. You strain it. You let it cool down, and then you want to juice some pineapple, or you can get some pineapple juice or whatever and add pineapple to it. Pineapple. Put that thing in the fridge. The kids love it. Pineapple and hibiscus, pineapple and sorrel, the kids love it. With that ginger, the kids love it. So the cayenne pepper adds a bit of spice to it, but the pineapple balances out the spice. And of course, it elevates the sweetness and stuff. And then you can add agave and stuff if you want to elevate the sweetness more, especially for the kids. But it's excellent, excellent, excellent blood purifier. good for people with high blood pressure. It'll immediately bring that blood pressure down. Immediate results of bringing that blood, like literally, you could take their blood pressure before. If their blood pressure is a little elevated, you give them that sorrel, you give them the hibiscus, ginger, the cayenne pepper, the burdock root. Let them drink it down. About an hour later, that blood pressure will be good. Okay, works very, very quickly. And then also for people with high blood pressure, I don't even know how I got here. Okay, but somebody must need it. Spirit must know somebody need it. Okay. Also for high blood pressure, get cayenne pepper tablets or capsules. And so if you don't want the spiciness in the tea or the spiciness in the drink, especially if it's for the kids, if you don't want the spiciness in the drink, then you can get the tablets or the capsules and take the capsule and then just drink, the sorrel mixture. Okay. So you get that, but that's good for high blood pressure. And also somebody in the wellness community, I saw it. Somebody in the wellness community asked about okra water. I love okra water. Okra water is good for high blood pressure. It's good for cleansing out the digestive system. It's just good for the heart and the digestive area as a whole, but also great for hydration. It's great for the skin. It's great for beauty. But if you're pregnant, you definitely cannot have okra water until you're ready to deliver. Okay. It's also great because it's good for womb wellness. And rose hip, I meant to tell you, I think I said that rose hip is good for womb wellness too. But with okra water, it's good for womb wellness. But if you're pregnant, you don't want to take it until like maybe the week before delivery, because it helps speed up labor and it helps, the baby slide on out easy. Okay, slide out easy. Yes, okra is also good for diabetes as well. It's also good. It helps balance out the blood sugar and insulin. Okay, in the body. So that's another good thing that okra water specifically is good for. And for okra water, you literally just get water and you put okra in it and you can let it sit overnight and you can strain it if you want to. Some people choose to strain it. I don't. But this is the thing. I'm gonna tell y'all, the thing with okra, it's really the slime in okra that's the best. The thing with okra and that slime and making okra water, babe, let me tell you something. It tastes like it feels like the texture is the thing for me. I don't like the slime of okra. Even like if I go to like a Nigerian restaurant, Ghanaian restaurant, that akbono soup, it has that okra slime texture. I don't like that. I don't like the slime. So I will say with okra water, to get the most benefit, it's gonna be thick, kind of slimy. To me, it feels like you're drinking loose mucus. It really feels like you're drinking mucus, but it's so good for you. Now, what I will say, with that okra water, I like to wash my face with it. Okay, so you can wash your face with it, wash your body. It's really, really good for the skin and for beauty. Okay, but that's the okra water. Okay, so there you go. Wellness community. I saw somebody asked in the group chat. So that's what the okra water is good for. Okay, family. Now I'm about to go. I love y'all dearly. Okay, let me run back through the herbs again. The herbs, one last time, is skullcap, heart's ease, rose hip, lilac, and burdock. And then we talked about, hibiscus and all of that stuff, okay, and okra water and everything, okay. I love y'all. Also, let me give y'all a little hint with the okra. Yup, come on, Buddha. That's a little hint I was gonna give. You want to get that slime out that okra. When you're cooking that okra down, you got to add a little cap full of vinegar to cut that slime out. Okay, so when you're making like a gumbo, you frying some okra or anything like that, you put a little cap full of vinegar, it'll cut that slime right on out, honey. Okay, you ain't got to work hard at all. Cut that slime right on out. Okay, but now the whole thing about it is you may not get the full nutritional benefits when you do that, okay? But it cuts that slime right on out, all right? I'm going to go. I love y'all dearly. Much peace. Wellness community, we'll have a family meeting this Saturday, September 2nd. We'll have a family meeting, okay? So I'll put all that information in the Patreon as well. I love y'all, and I will see y'all soon. Peace.